Tonight, a Fairmont man is in Blue Earth County Jail awaiting charges in yesterday's deadly shooting.
The Mankato Department of Public Safety says they arrested 44-year-old Joseph David Bulfer at the scene. Bulfer is accused in the fatal shooting this weekend of 52-year-old Joshua Robert Downey and the assault of 37-year-old Rosalind Marie Rohde. It happened at the 700 block of Castle Pines Drive yesterday afternoon. KUIC's Evan Berg joins us now live with the latest details. Evan, what else have we learned?
Stacey, Dion, new information this evening about the relationship between Rosalind Rohde and Joseph Bulfer. According to Deputy Police Chief Chris Buckle, Bulfer was an ex-boyfriend of Rohde, and the pair also had a years-long professional relationship. Police received a call around 1:30 Sunday afternoon that gunshots were reported at Rohde's townhome. When officers arrived on the scene and heard another gunshot, police found Bulfer holding an AR-style rifle and nearby the body of Rohde's friend Joshua Downey, who had suffered multiple gunshot wounds. Police found Rohde unconscious in her bathroom from blunt force trauma. She is currently at Mayo Clinic Health System in Mankato and is in stable condition. While Bulfer's motive remains a mystery, Chief Deputy Buckle credits Rohde's survival to the quick thinking of officers on the scene who de-escalated the situation and made the arrest.
I can't say enough about how our officers really responded in the most horrific of conditions. The courage that takes for those officers to hear those gunshots and run towards the gunshots.
While Bulfer is in custody, he has refused to answer questions without his lawyer. Investigators are currently talking with family, friends, and neighbors of the victims and the alleged shooter to try and get a better picture of what happened. Back to you.